Ukraine has lived under full-scale war for more than 3 years. After the 2022 invasion by the Russian Federation, martial law and general mobilization were introduced, and everyday life across the territory of Ukraine, from border areas to cities deep in the interior, takes place under the constant threat of air and missile attacks. Officially, wartime regulations operate alongside constitutional guarantees that protect personal liberty and freedom of movement. At the same time, mobilization laws permit the authorities to limit these rights to staff the armed forces and regulate citizens' movements during martial law. In practice, this balance is tested on the streets, where territorial recruitment centers, known by the Ukrainian abbreviation TRCs, act as local enlistment offices and, together with police and other security units, appear in residential districts, on public transport, and in busy public places to identify men of conscription age and check documents. Videos filmed by bystanders show how routine these encounters have become. Men are stopped on sidewalks or at bus stops, asked to present identity papers and military registration, and in some cases directed toward official vehicles. In a number of recorded situations, citizens state that they were taken to recruitment offices or medical commissions against their will, without a prior written summons or a clear explanation of the legal grounds for detention. Human rights organizations, lawyers, and the National Ombudsman's Office receive complaints that describe alleged unlawful or prolonged detention, restriction of freedom of movement within Ukraine, violations of traffic rules by official vehicles, and the use of physical force during the delivery of draft notices. Street confrontations arise when residents attempt to record what is happening or refuse to follow instructions, and some of these incidents escalate into physical clashes between civilians and representatives of TRCs or the police. For men of military age, this creates a constant tension between legal obligation and everyday mobility. Mobilization rules mean that most adult men cannot leave the country, while inside Ukraine they may face document checks in almost any public space. Many adjust their daily routes, avoid crowded locations or public events, or carry additional papers in anticipation of possible encounters with recruitment officers or police patrols. Legal analyses point to the broad wording of martial law and mobilization legislation, and thousands of appeals filed with human rights bodies about the actions of enlistment offices and security forces indicate that these questions are not limited to isolated episodes. For civilians already living with air raid sirens and the risk of new strikes, the possibility of sudden detention or forced delivery to a recruitment office adds an internal pressure that coexists with the external threat, and mobile phone recordings from different Ukrainian cities and regions join these moments into a continuous picture of everyday interactions between ordinary people and representatives of the state.
Це вже автобус під'їхав зразу, щоб погрузити. Боже, у вас совість є чи нема, скажіть? У вас совість є? Ви знаєте, скільки людей звідти?
Де я був?
А ви знаєте, скільки тут людей загинуло?
Я де був?
Де був, там і був. А чи тільки тут збираєте? Чого не їздите туди?
Я приїхав лише. Успокойся. Ви що, блядь, худобу крутите, блядь? Ви що, худоба вам? А що він зробив?
Розказуй, буду розказувати. Ви ж обнагліли.
Давай,